them, and Coach will stick around after that. Coach?
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Obviously, a team effort against a good team, and a lot of things we'll learn from this game on both ends of the floor. I thought we shared it and moved the ball really well in spurts. But obviously in November, you're still looking to try to continue to improve, which we got, a lot of things we can continue to get better at, and then put longer stretches of really quality play together. So, obviously these two guys up here with me played really well. Cam gave us again a big boost off the bench. Nolan filled in with Gilly for Steve when he was in some foul trouble, and his activity on the glass obviously was important. So, like I said, a lot of things we can learn from this, and that we got to get better at, and move and get ready, get on to Pittsburgh on Sunday. Questions for these guys?
Kamari, how much of the Grand Valley game was maybe a wake-up call for you guys defensively, and you kind of feel like this was your best performance on that end of the floor this season?
Honestly, I wouldn't even say this was our best performance of defense of the season. That game was just, we watched the film after that performance and just studied what we had to work on the defensive end, and just apply it to the next game. That's what we got to do. You got to just move on. You can't dwell on the past. You just got to watch the film, learn from it, and then continue forward.
Could be for either of you. When you start off that quickly, had a 10-point lead halfway through that first half, just what does that do for your guys' confidence? In a game like this, a neutral environment, you're trying to create your own energy.
Yeah, I'd say just to see that kind of start from us is good. Being on the road and stuff. We knew we had to bring our own energy. Obviously, fan base was great. They traveled great. They always do. Last year in Fort Myers, they were awesome too. So we knew that was going to be a problem. But just getting off to a hot start, a good start offensively and defensively, just setting the tone for the game. I think that's kind of always a big point of emphasis for us. So I think we did a pretty good job with that.
Cam, Max said that you guys, one of your defensive issues was kind of keeping guards in front of you. I was wondering how much of a focus was that this week, and how much early on, just to kind of take their three guards out of their rhythm, how important was that for you in the grand scheme of things here?
Yeah, after watching the film on UCF, we knew that coming in, the guards really were like the dominant scorer. So we really keyed in on making sure we are able to guard one-on-one. We got to be able to, we got to rely on our help, our gaps, but you got to be able to keep the ball in front of you. Otherwise, the gaps or the help side won't matter because it's too open. So that was definitely a vital key of us for our defense this week. Just make sure we can guard the ball, contain our man, so we didn't have to help as much.
What did you guys think of the environment tonight?
Man, it felt almost like a home game, honestly. Like Nolan said, our fans travel well, and it's a beautiful thing to see. That's the part of the reason why a lot of us came here, just because we know we have a solid fan base like that.
For either of you, do you guys ever have a sense that you guys could be pretty explosive offensively? I think you guys are currently on pace for the most points per game since 1971. When did you kind of feel like that this was coming together the way it was?
Yeah, I just say throughout the summer, learning each other's games, just building that chemistry with one another. Just coming into the fall, getting ready to work, we all knew that we kind of had this. Maybe people didn't really see it from the outside, but within ourselves, we knew that we had some special players, some athleticism, and we all gelled really well together from the transfers and the freshmen and everything. So just going to work and practice every day we're all super talented, just making each other better, iron sharpens iron. I'd say, yeah.
To add to that, you guys have been killing teams at the free throw line, but tonight they shot 21 more than you did. How pleasing is that to win by 16 with that kind of deficit?
Oh man, that's something that we gonna have to clean up a little bit, myself included. And just a lot of silly ones, a lot of them where my help is there, but we bail them out. So we just gotta not worry about it, because we know they get to the free throw line, but we'll still come out on the right side. So we just go watch the film, learn, and make sure we just eliminate our silly ones, because the game of basketball is physical, so there's gonna be fouls. We just gotta eliminate those that aren't necessary.
Noel, I think you guys, your first 25 possessions, you had 20 points in the paint. A lot of the offense was coming through you and Steve, either scoring or facilitating. I know you two are still trying to find a niche, kind of working together, but that first half with you guys in sync, how just important was that for this team to get off to that start with you guys facilitating like that?
Yeah, it was good. I feel like start off every game with a post presence and getting to the bucket, just setting that tone, just letting them know that it's going to be a physical game down there with me or Big Steve. So I think just setting that sort of tone, telling them that we're going to be right at your chin all night and just getting to the rim, and then that opens up everything from the perimeter. Shooting wide open threes, 10 toes down. That's what we really harp on. So yeah, it's huge for us. We got to keep doing that.
I know.
One more for the players.
No, I know rebounding kind of, when you're hot, it kind of tends to find you. You had a couple series where you cleaned up your own misses. I know you had 2-on-1 that you led to 2 free throws, another in the second half that you cleaned up. Just what were you seeing on the offensive glass today that kind of led you to kind of generate some of that offense?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of being there. Being a 7-footer, it's not like I got to do anything crazy athletic to get around people, and I know I'm not the strongest person ever. So just kind of having a nose for it and just kind of having a knack for where the ball's going to go. I credit that to my dad, honestly. At a young age, he teach me from like all the angles where the ball is most likely to bounce. So I really just try to get to those spots, and being 7 foot, it's pretty easy. But I know I got to be better on the rebounds and defensively and offensively. I have more opportunities to keep crashing, but I think we all can just be better on eliminating the second chance points for them. So.
Nolan, Cam, next.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, Coach. Questions for Coach?
Coach, what did you think of your team's defense tonight? Felt like you guys were forcing them into a lot of tough twos and tough threes. I think they missed the first 11 threes and all felt pretty well contested.
Yeah, I thought we were really good in stretches. You alluded to a little bit of that with Cam. I thought we did a decent job early, continuing dribble penetration, having people in gaps and have a presence there. And Cam mentioned our fouling. We did foul unnecessarily too much. 37 free throws are too much, but when you're able to shut off the threes and they're not able to get to the rim on you, which was important for us to keep them as much as possible out of the paint. And obviously those 2 guards, specifically Curry and Johnson, are good. The more I watched them, the better I thought they were. For them to go with 5 for 23 in their starting backcourt, I think we forced them into some tough shots. There's always things we can get better at. In this one, obviously, we'll break down the film and find out, see where the unnecessary fouls came from. I got a pretty good idea in my mind, but and then just being a little more solid with the ball. That we had some goofy turnovers that we don't need to happen. So as a coach, you're always looking for perfection. So but to a lot of things we can get better at, but still be able to put that team away was important.
Greg, you've talked a lot about how much you loved Cam's energy off the bench. What specifically does he do that really seems to lift your team almost to another level when he comes in?
Yeah, well, he's very vocal. I think he's one of our leaders. Obviously, players really respect him, respect his comments, his instruction with our younger guys. He's really positive, and he changes our pace. He changes us a little bit. There's more ball pressure when he's engaged with the ball. We come a little faster with the ball in his hands in transition at times, and obviously he just a very unselfish player. He picks his spots. He was able to knock down his threes today. He changes us from an energy standpoint, and I think it's a little bit of a pace change too that happens when he comes in.
Basketball in a ballroom is different, but
Yeah.
But that the environment got loud. What did you think of kind of the setting?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good setting. Those are always unique. These are unique environments to play in. We've played in a lot of them over the years and different ones, and I like those intimate environments where we have fans that maybe don't get to see us play or don't get to see us up close, whether they're sitting courtside or one of the 4 or 5 or 6 rows of the bleachers. So I think our players enjoy it. Our players appreciate the support we have from our fan base, and they enjoy traveling. Whether it's here in Greenbrier or anywhere else that we've gone, we always have a tremendous following.
Can you almost feed off that energy more when the fans are
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they Badger Nation travels really well, and they like this team. They've liked a lot of our teams, and they're fun to watch. I mean, if you're a fan, you know, and a team that has this much unselfishness and how we share the ball and with how many guys that can score, you know, and then how well they play together. I think that our fans appreciate that, the unselfishness and playing for what's on the front of the jersey. We take a lot of pride in that, and our fans appreciate that.
It looked like he had a little trouble on the defensive glass at times, but how big of a lift was it, you know, just for Nolan to, you know, not only have steal minutes with Stevens foul trouble, but kind of elevate you in some
Yeah, I
ways?
think he's you know, every minute and experience he can get helps him because he's still a young pup, so to speak. But I like the fact that when he didn't get a couple defensive ones, he went right back and went to the offensive glass. That tip in he had with his left hand down in the second half was a big time play. So, you know, he's hungry. You know, he's just got to continue to get him stronger and work on leverage, on blockouts, and how to use his hips and those things. And that'll come as he continues to get more experience and matures more.
Greg, how would you characterize Stevens' night? Came out very aggressive early, did a lot of good things facilitating, and then the technical, and then sitting, and then certainly didn't provide much in the second half
I mean,
because
that
of
gets him
fouls.
out of a rhythm. It completely gets him out of a rhythm. Then he gets his fourth on the first possession of the second half. So that's where you need a bench and other guys to come in and spell when you have somebody maybe have an off night for whatever reason, foul trouble in his case. But I thought between Nolan, I used Gilly some at the 5. You know, we were able to play a little smaller, and specifically and it helps us sometimes with continued dribble penetration, specifically if we get caught in some switches. You know, so like I said, it's you need other guys to step up when somebody struggled a little bit. Our guys did that.
Are you
One or
learning?
two more.
Are you learning more about the depth of your bench through 6 games now? I know you're pretty set with your 7. Do you know how much deeper you can go, or is that still going to have your work in progress?
We're still learning because the guys are continuing to grow. I mean, right? And they have to continue to get better. They're not going to stay neutral. You're either getting better or you're regressing. So for those guys that have been in the mix and getting some, I probably should have played Janicki more in the first half. But he, between him, Xavier, Gilly, Cam, if I'm missing anybody that was in that kind of that first rotation, but you know, those guys come in and add something, and that's what we always ask. Come in and add whatever your strength is. Add to our mix and try to elevate us, try to push. And then that second wave kind of pushed the lead in the first half too. We were able to extend the lead with some of those guys out on the floor. So, so all in all, a good team win where we got contributions, and these younger guys get experience. It's good for Amos to get in these environments and play and experience some bigger bodies and all the things that happen within our program. These, you know, all the new guys are going through for the first time, whether they're a 6-year senior in Tanjay or a freshman. It's the first time they hear me in these environments, in the huddles, their teammates, all those type of things, the travel. I mean, all these experiences, I think, help as you build towards the rest of the year.
What have you just seen from Pittsburgh, and what type of change?
I haven't seen other than about 3 minutes of the end of the first half. I mean, Jeff does a really good job there. I know they'll be physical. I know they'll come after us. I'll spend tonight and tomorrow watching a lot of film. I know Coach Randall has the scout, so he's been working on him for a week or so. So I'll get caught up to speed, but really good defensive team. Obviously, a coach that you know, they play like he played. They're going to be hard-nosed, which you would expect from a Pittsburgh team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.